Hey guys, we are back with another CinemaFolks called News Bit Video. I still need to think of a name for this thing. But before we get started, I have a few things to discuss before we get into the topics, two of which are breaking news stories, and then the rest are a couple of other things. So, first things first, if you notice that my voice is a little bit weird, that is because I'm currently fighting something, some infection, some cavity in my mouth right now. I'm gonna go to the dentist tomorrow. I'm gonna go see how it all is. But if my voice just seems a little weird, just note that my voice is also a little bit hold on, a little bit dry. But we are gonna persevere. We're gonna persevere because I want to talk about some of the stuff that just happened just now. Also about some of the other stuff that's been going on in the industry right now, because there's been some fascinating stories that have been coming out lately, and I just want to throw my 2 cents out there. So that's the first thing. So if you notice that my voice seems a little bit weird, if I seem like I'm talking to the side like this, that's because the side right here is just hurting so much right now. Um, but that's the first thing. The second thing is that you are going to be seeing a lot of videos on this channel very, very soon, because I have a slew of movies that I would love to watch, and I have a schedule laid out where I hope to watch them when I can over the holiday weekend. And I'm going to be posting a lot of movie reviews, so you'll be seeing a bunch of them. Today, which is the 16th, you will have seen the Prom movie review, where I go into detail about it. I'll be doing some reviews on other films that have come out this year, playing catch up, and also some of the newer releases that come out throughout the week as well. And I have them mapped out in my head of what days they're going to come out. So they're not going to come out every single day, but expect frequent videos for the next couple of days. So, and of course, if news drops, I will pause everything and put a news collab video as we are doing now, because there are some topics that came out today that are really fascinating. So, which is what we'll jump into right now. So let's get into the first breaking news story. This literally leaked a few moments ago. I think I want to say like half an hour ago, because now it's official. Because Deadline is now reporting on it. They're not, it's not like at first I thought it was a little bit of like, hey, it's out of context. Maybe it's from a different thing. Maybe it's not real. Now apparently it is real. So, which is this? Tom Cruise apparently just lost it on his Mission Impossible 7 crew. I have the story right here, and I did listen to the audio as well, so I've listened to everything that he said in the supposed footage. But yeah, basically a lot of what happened on the set. Apparently, a lot of crew members. They didn't say who, but or Tom Cruise didn't say who, but apparently a lot of crew members were not wearing their mask on sets, and because of that, Tom Cruise was just lost it on a bunch of these crew members. And I have a couple of things to say about this, because there's been a lot. I've seen some of the responses already to this, and I'm thinking that people are kind of taking this lightly, and they really shouldn't. Because there's two things about this, two ways to view this, and both are valid. But both are still terrible ways to be dealing with a production or a group of people. First of which is Tom Cruise's side, which we'll address right now. He was out of line. He should not have done that. That was completely unprofessional. He should not be. It doesn't matter how stressful things get. Okay, it doesn't matter how because it's, of course, you're operating a film set. You're producing. He has a huge part in the franchise. He's not just a star of the franchise. He also is a producer of the franchise. It's stressful. I get it, but the last thing that you do is to resort to attacking your crew. If there's stuff happening on set, you discuss that privately, and you discuss it in a manner that is professional enough to get things moving. Okay, you do not result in attacking your crew. You don't result to getting emotional. You don't result to doing this and that, because there's a reason why this audio came out. Okay, it's not just it's not like some TMZ video. Like, this is literally a crew member that just started recording. So I assume that there's much more to this. But yeah, this is completely unprofessional, though. That he should not have done that at all. You never ever resort to attacking your crew when tensions get high. You never do that at all. You never raise your voice. You never resort to cussing at your crew. You never do that at all. That's the first side of it. The second side of it, the crew. They should have been wearing their mask. I mean, this is priority. I mean, this is the new life. This is the new rules on film sets. So operate professionally. So wear your mask. And I completely get where Tom Cruise is coming from. Like, what he is saying is not my problem. The problem is how he's saying it, and how he is choosing to deliver it. Because all the stuff that he talks about is none of their business. Okay, it's none of his business, none of their business to know about him talking to producers, insurance companies. This is none of their business. All right, you just need to tell him straight up. Listen, do this again, you're fired. That's it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to go on this huge ramble. I understand that it's stressful. I understand that he probably was very stressed and he needed a moment to let out release. But that is not a place at all to do that. I've always said this before. Whenever I do like a short film of any kind, my crew always knows, like, if there's ever tensions on set, we do that privately or we do that offset, because we do not want to disrupt the flow of the on-set experience. That is how you maintain professionalism. And I'm not saying Tom Cruise, is all around unprofessional. It's just this one instance. This is a very unprofessional thing to do. And I think that both sides are to blame, and this is how you create tensions on set. Because now moving forward, there are tensions. I mean, this is just not how you operate a production at all, from both sides. Because obviously, whoever he was talking to, I don't know. I mean, was it extras? Was it crew, actual legit like production crew members? I don't know. But regardless, whoever it is, they did not deserve that type of I wouldn't say verbal abuse, but that type of attack. They don't deserve it. They deserve to be told professionally and strictly that you are not allowed to wear, or you're not allowed to take off your mask. You're supposed to wear your mask 100% all the time when you're on set, and if you don't, you are going to be removed. That is all you have to say. Lashing out like that, that's not professional. That's just not. So, yeah, so at least we have an idea of how the Mission Impossible set's going. And this weird thing also that Tom Cruise brought up on his little rant. Oh, well, this is the movie that everyone's relying on. We said that also with Tenet, but you can go look at the numbers, Tom Cruise. We're not really relying on Mission Impossible 7 to bring us back to the theater. We're not. But glad to know that that's what you're thinking, or what insiders might be telling you. But yeah, completely unprofessional from both sides, and that's just not how you operate a production in any sense of the word. So yeah, that's unfortunate that it came to that point, and yeah, that was highly unprofessional. Sorry, I just had to text someone real quick, but anyways, so yes, that was completely unprofessional of him, and hopefully, and also as with the crew as well, both sides are to blame for that, but hopefully tensions are calmer, I guess. I don't know, but we shall see how that all goes. I mean, that's again, yeah. So, but anyway, sorry, my friend who's is talking to me right now. We're just talking about our own little short film right now. So, we're all good though. So, anyways, so our second topic today is another, I would say, in the same vein as Tom Cruise's topic, a little bit of a not dirty subject. What am I talking about? A messy subject. There we go. Dirty subject. So for those who don't know the name Emma Fuhrman, I believe that's her name. She had a role in the MCU. Cassie Lang, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but She had a small role in Avengers Endgame, and she played Ant-Man's daughter, grown up. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. Well, during the Disney investor call, they announced a recast for the role. And it's apparently I think it's Catherine Newton. I think that's her name. The person who was in Freaky, that movie of Vince Vaughn, which I have not seen yet, but apparently she's going to be playing the role in Ant-Man 3. Not her though, which left a lot of people scratching their heads, including myself. Like, why would you recast her? Like, what was the point? Well, apparently she doesn't know either, because she put out on Twitter. Apparently she was not told of the recasting, and she still doesn't know right now why she was dumped. And this is where, again, as I addressed with the Tom Cruise situation, this is where it becomes, again, another example of unprofessionalism. Because, yes, while she was a small role, it's apparent, though, that whatever the role that she played is going to have significance moving forward for other films, particularly Ant-Man 3. I mean, Kevin Feige literally was talking about during that investor call meeting that this role is going to play a pivotal part in Ant-Man 3. So, and I'm pretty sure she was contractually obligated to be a part of Ant-Man 3. So why would you dump her? Well, the internet has actually given I would say, a fairly good reason as to why she probably got dumped. And the reason is this. They need a hot name. They need a celebrity. They need someone to sell that character. They can't just have a good actress. They need to have a good name. Again, Marvel Studios, Emma Fuhrman, no one said anything about why or what happened. But again, this is highly unprofessional. You should have informed this actress that she is about to get recasted, okay? Way beforehand, before this investor call meeting ever happened. You should have been on the phone with Emma, and you should have addressed what was about to happen and why. She's owed an explanation. That's what she's owed at this point. She's owed an explanation as to why she was recasted. Because that's just, again, if I worked for Marvel, and if I was in the MCU, and if I got dumped out of nowhere, I would be messaging Feige or whoever's email that I have, and I would be saying, hey, what's the reasoning for why I got dumped just now? It's kind of fucked up that, that I was working with you guys and we had an agreement to star in these other films, and now out of nowhere you just dumped me. What's up? So she's owed an explanation. I mean, she very much is owed an explanation, and I hope that she gets it. And just the potential reasoning on the internet for why she's getting dumped is stupid. I hate this idea of, like, we need a celebrity. I mean, for the MCU, you don't. I mean, Marvel Studios sells itself. Ant-Man will sell. I understand that there's also a scare that Ant-Man 3 will probably not make money, or not make a lot of money, because Ant-Man 1 and 2, if you look at the numbers from box office wise, they are basically the lowest in terms of the MCU, in terms of their finance poll. But having bringing in another star, I don't think is going to do them any favors. I mean, Ant-Man 2 brought in Lawrence Fishburne, but that didn't bring in high numbers. I mean, shit, the trio, or the quadruple, the four main stars, Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer, they weren't even able to sell the movie. So you mean to tell me that another actress, another hot name, is gonna sell this thing? I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna change the numbers. I think the audience has spoken for the first two films of how they feel about the Ant-Man franchise. They're not as interested as they are with the other films. So dumping one of the people that has already been established within your franchise is just, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And don't say it's because they didn't like her performance, because why would you cast her? Why would you cast her if you didn't like her performance? Of course they do. They like her as a performer. So I'm not 100% sure as to why they dumped her, nor does she, apparently. But she is definitely owed an explanation, and I think that that's just wrong. Just wrong that they did her dirty like that. So, but she'll be fine though. She'll find work. She'll find some other jobs to keep her afloat. speaking of keeping afloat, let's transition to the next topic, which is, of course, the AMC Theaters drama that has been going on for the past few months. As everyone knows, the AMC Theaters chain has been going through a huge loss during this COVID pandemic. They have been trying so hard to figure out how to manage themselves throughout this new life, and well, it looks like that cycle might be coming to an end because they have said out loud now through press, through articles, to insiders that they are going to be completely broke come January. So that theater chain is. I'm not saying it is going to die because I still have confidence and hopefully that funding will come through. But they're saying that look, if we don't have much, if we don't have any other financial support, we're broke. I mean, we're broke come January. We might be dead. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, because I've reached out to Congress like twice, and I was able to get responses back from two people, particularly Mike Levin and Dianne Feinstein. If you guys go to my Instagram page, Chris_Bo_champ, that's my Instagram name. If you go under my Instagram, you actually see the letters that I had posted from Congress and their responses. And the responses are very positive responses. They're not like automatic responses or anything. They're legitimate letters, and they're very positive about trying to help the theatrical experience while also understanding like where the money has to go and how much money can be given to each particular venue, and which ones are valuable the most. I mean, let's be honest here. Let's not put our heads in the sand. If it came down to a hospital or a theater, I would obviously be supporting a hospital much more than I would a theater because that is much more valuable right now than is a theater. But I've addressed to Congress, and I got two responses back to them about how I believe that the movie theater experience is not just a fun experience, it's also a therapeutic experience. It's a great source for helping with your mental health, and it's a great source of healing. I mean, I think that a lot of people today could use that experience, could use some fun, could use a chance to escape from a bunch of what is it? A lot of the horrors that are really going on right now of COVID-19, a lot of the consequences that are happening with COVID-19. I think a lot of people deserve to have that moment to heal. And the theater chains also have to represent that they are here for you and your safety. So they have to make sure that they clean their auditoriums all the time, periodically, temperature checks at the door, do everything that's like viable and possible and reasonable to have your theaters open, to have people come in and still interested to watch those films that are going to be on the big screen. Unless you're watching it, unless you're WB, then you really don't give a shit. But unless you're anybody else, though, like if you want to see Black Widow in theaters, the theaters should be able to make sure that that is going to be the best experience possible under the new way of living. So, like I said, periodic cleaning, periodic temperature checks, fill out a questionnaire maybe. So I think that there are ways to do it. It is more or less though finance. We need to focus on finance though, in terms of theatrical experience. That is what's happening right here, and I do hope that Congress, from what I've gotten from those two letters, they are right now going to be having a congressional voting on some new acts that may or may not give them the finance that they need to keep them still afloat for a couple of more months. Hopefully that might happen for them in whatever amount that may be. But we do have more important matters also in our world right now besides a movie theater. But I do hope, as a film fan, that they do get the finances that they can get to support themselves for how long they ever can. Yeah, it's very it's crazy to know that the biggest theater chain in the world might not exist anymore come January. That's the world we live in, and it's a crazy world. So yeah, that's just insane. So, but now speaking, I spoke about WB for a moment. We've got two topics to talk about with WB. One of them involves the Snyder Cut. So let's get into it. The Snyder Cut, according to Zack Snyder, might be rated R. Now, I read into what he was saying, what might make the film rated R, and here's what he had to say. So he says that Batman drops an F-bomb, and that there will be some slicing and dicing of certain characters. I don't think that makes an R rating, because the PG-13 rating allows you to cuss one time. So there you go. There's your one time. And violence is very sticky in terms of the rating system. So I am assuming that what he means by like slicing of people in half, I'm assuming it's going to be a CGI characters. So no. I mean, unless there's like blood or something, like if it's an actual human thing, sure. CGI creatures, no, they're not gonna hand that over for that type of reason. But it's kind of why it was also the same reason why I thought I was like, why is Batman vs Superman, the Ultimate Edition that came out, why was that rated R? And the reason why it was rated R is because, well, they added some blood stuff to the warehouse scene, and I think 1 or 2 times of cussing. That's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, they added some new scenes, but in terms of the overall rating system, that's pretty much all it was. So I'm pretty sure that this is, if it is rated R, I mean, it's for very, very minor stuff. So don't get all excited that, oh my god, we're going to get an R-rated Snyder Cut. That's not what's going to happen here. You're just going to get a tiny bit of edge. So I wouldn't be holding up like hope like for an R-rated Snyder Cut, because I don't know. I mean, if it does pass the rating system for an R rating, I mean, sure. But it does not amount to anything. That's what I'm saying. So let's transition to WB, and let's talk about to another WB topic. See that transition? That was terrible. I'm on painkillers right now, so I'm about to fall asleep very soon. So just if I make a stupid joke, I apologize. But anyways, we have two more topics, so let's get through it. So WB also announced, WB made the announcement, because they didn't announce the Snyder Cut R-rated stuff. That was Zack Snyder just talking about it. Mortal Kombat and Tom and Jerry have new release dates. Now, Mortal Kombat was originally supposed to hit on HBO Max. I'm not saying theaters, because that's not happening. I mean, it will, but we've already discussed what's going to happen with that deal. So it was originally supposed to happen on January 15th, 2021. They have now pushed it to April 16th, 2021. That's when you'll be able to see Mortal Kombat. However, Tom and Jerry actually got a month pushed up. So they originally were supposed to hit on March 5th, 2021, and now they've moved it up to February 26th, 2021. So like a week or two difference, I think, or hell, like a week, I think. I'm interested for Mortal Kombat. I've never seen the original film. I know, sacrilegious or something, I know, but I've never seen the original film. I've never seen Annihilation. So I'm not vetted on Mortal Kombat, so I can't really say much about it. The only thing that I'm happy to hear is that it's rated R, because I know how violent Mortal Kombat is. It's an extremely violent game, so it deserves an R rating, full-heartedly, because the violence is a part of the game, and that's what keeps viewers drawn into the game, is how violent the beatdowns get. So I'm curious if that's going to translate to Mortal Kombat. Tom and Jerry looks terrible. I think we can just say it looks terrible. I think that they see this more as from a demographic perspective. Like, if we want to get kids to come into our service, let's put Tom and Jerry just a little bit further out, or a little bit more earlier than sooner. So yeah, that's that. I don't know if Mortal Kombat is going to hit anything in particular. Let me just look it up right now. I just want to see if Mortal Kombat, April 16, 2021. I want to see if this film is going to force other films to move revolving around the HBO Max deal. I'm going to go check it real quick. So apparently no. Apparently its release date is legitimate, and it doesn't have any competitors that month. It's the competitors, though, are fairly good competitors from other companies. Universal, for instance, has No Time to Die coming out on April 2nd, I believe. I think that's the new date. And A Quiet Place Part 2. So on April 27th, or April 23rd. So that's its competitors. So we'll see. I mean, again, I've spoken time and time again how I feel about this HBO Max deal, but um, it's good to see that they are adjusting in some capacity. More work is to be done, obviously, but hey, they are sorting through their catalogs and seeing what they have coming out for HBO Max, and they are planning out accordingly in that front. Hopefully that translates to talking to the DGA, the SAG, the WGA, all these unions and all these actors, your employers. Hopefully that's also what's happening right now. If not, that completely sucks. And that's going to, again, it's going to hurt them a lot more than they actually think. So, but let's get into our last story of the day. It's a small one, and that is that Chris Pine is in talks to star in Dungeons and Dragons. Now, it looks like also that Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly are also directing. They are the people that are behind the 2018 release of Game Night, and also I believe had a producing or a writing credit. I believe it was a writing credit on Spider-Man: Homecoming. So they're going to be in charge of doing the Dungeons and Dragons film, which is being done by Paramount Pictures. Yeah, I'm reading it right now. Yeah, they are directing and writing a script, or will direct a script that was written by Michael Giglio. So, I have never heard or played the actual game Dungeons and Dragons, so I cannot comment on the casting itself if it'll work or not. But for Chris Pine, I mean, I've seen his medieval work before. Like he did Outlaw King, which I think was fairly underrated, honestly. I thought it was a decent film for what it was. Not a greatest film at all, but not a great film. I mean, but overall, like, not too bad. So he can play the medieval part very well. I'm not aware of. I can't put my 2 cents into this particular topic just because I don't know anything about the game. I don't know anything about how the film's going to be. What the film's going to bring to enhancing the source material. The only thing I'm curious about is how this will benefit box office wise for video game films, and how this might change the tide for video game films and changing our taste and how we view video game movies. Hopefully this film will hopefully change the atmosphere of the dark cloud that floods all over sorts of video games. Super Mario Brothers, Pixels. God, I could name more. Why is my name? What my name? Why is my? I can't form a coherent thought right now because these painkillers are coming in soon. So, what am I saying? They have come, and they are wanting me to go to sleep very soon. So, but yeah, I think Chris Pine is an interesting choice, and I think that I think it fits because of my viewing of Outlaw King and seeing how he did there. Other than that, I don't know anything about the source material. I know it's a popular game, but I don't know anything else beyond that to give constructive criticism or any opinion on it. So, but that is it for today, guys. We talked about a lot of stuff, broke some news, broke down some breaking news. So let me know your thoughts on all this stuff about Tom Cruise losing his shit, Emma Fuhrman not getting recasted, AMC Theaters getting being completely broke. I mean, lots of crazy stuff going on right now in the film industry. Let me know your thoughts about it, and I will catch you in my next movie review. Because like I said, we're going to be very, very consistent on this channel moving forward for the next few days. We have a slew of movie reviews coming out, so I hope you guys are prepared. But beyond that, I hope you guys are enjoying the review for The Prom, because this video is also going to come out the same day as The Prom. A little bit later in the day, but it will be coming out. Just because all those breaking news stuff that came out, I gotta talk about it somehow. So, because I can't let it wait longer, because the Tom Cruise bit, that was something that I really, really wanted to talk about. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts about all these topics, and I will catch you next time, whenever that may be, within this crazy schedule that we now have going on with all these movie reviews and all these other stuff coming out. If something big comes out in the film industry, of course I will stop the movie reviews to do a video on it, but beyond that, it's going to be reviews for a little bit. But this breaking news happened, and I just had to address it, as well as some other things that have been happening. So that's it for this video, and I will catch you guys next time on the next movie review. I won't spoil what it is, but all I'll say is it shit the bed financially, and Iron Man. Pretty much all I'll say. So I think you can tell what my next movie review will be. So, but that's it for this video. I'm gonna go crash right now because these painkillers are coming in right now, and I can tell that I'm getting tired. And that is it for this video, and I will catch you guys next time. Be safe, be protected. Catch you all in the next video. Bye.